What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up?
What's up,
Good
fellas?
evening. How are you doing, fellas?
Good.
Good,
I'm
good.
doing
All
fine,
right.
just fine.
I hope you all have a good week. Heard that you've been to Hong Kong a few times, Eric.
Yes. Just going back and forth a little bit, having some fun.
Yeah,
So,
it's just like
you-
a 40-minute ferry away. I think I can't remember now.
yeah,
It's not,
ferry's
not too long.
ferry's quick, bus is quick, everything's quick. Uh,
Yeah.
and right now it's crazy. There's like no lines at all at the Koan like immigration checkpoint. Like I know I
That's good.
saw at New Year's people were like camping out and waiting for a long time, and then just after that there's like nobody. So pretty cool.
All right. Cool, cool, cool. Oh wow. We got first comment. Hi, น้องปัจจุบัน don't be
Hello.
deceived by the profile photo. I always say. Well, fan from Thailand. Okay,
She
so
forgot to say hi to me.
while we're getting into it, if any of the viewers welcome to our show, right? We're gonna go with the intro and all, but just want to make sure that you all hear us okay. Do comments where you're listening or watching from, which country, maybe not the exact room you're in, but yeah, which country you're listening from. That'd be nice. Actually, I'm listening from my living room in Beijing. How about you guys?
I'm in the closet. I'm always filming in the closet.
You got a nice view in the closet, man.
I got the green screen up. It's quite small, but it's comfy. It's my office.
And your little
I'm-
buddy is really stay still, huh?
My doggy, she's
Yeah,
sleeping
yeah.
somewhere. Hopefully she doesn't
Oh
bark
no,
this
on the
time.
background, yeah. Oh, it's just
Oh,
a
yeah.
photo. Sorry.
That's in the car. We'll talk about that later.
All right, Mr. P.
Yeah, so I'm always in my car, my NIO EC6. Yeah, nice and quiet here. No screaming babies. My son isn't gonna like come here and like yank the phone from me or something. So yeah.
But that's where all the magic begins, right? For you, Mr. P. All the rumors, everything you are recorded in there. It's all confidential.
Yeah.
And it's like only you and yourself, right? No one would
Exactly.
like, hey, what this guy's talking about?
You know, I was gonna
Exactly.
say I was gonna say earlier when we were talking though, Mr. P, I also know why you're in the car all the time, because just now like so much construction was going on like the last half an hour, I guess, because they usually stop like 8, right? But it was still going on just a little about half an hour ago. I was like, man, Mr. P's smart to go record in his car, because in the house it's just like dun, 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 dun. So,
And it's
Yeah, true.
comfortable. You got seat heating and just lie back, relax. Yeah.
I should do that sometime, I think. You
and
should
you got
live
free
from
power
the
swap too, P.
sometime.
So you can use the
Yeah,
energy,
exactly.
use the heat, and use the seat heating.
I
Massage.
get it now because Mr. P got the unlimited power swaps. So it's always good for him to like spend time in the car, right? And just use the AC. We don't need to worry about the oh shoot, I have to swap again. Cause you can get all the swap for free.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Funny thing about that, like with the free power swap, a lot of people were abusing it. So like people were buying multiple Neos for the free power swap to like power their shop and power their construction site. And
Oh,
that was pretty crazy, and Neo stopped it. So you can use it for like basic needs, like sure, drive it, turn on the AC, maybe charge your phone. But like if you want to pull power out of the car through the charging port, there's a limit. Like something like, what is it, 30 kilowatt hours per month or something like that. And then after that you gotta pay. So that's pretty good, pretty smart on Neo to stop the guys that are abusing it. Yeah.
oh, so like if they use for driving is fine, but if they use
Yeah.
like as the power station, then that's good.
Yeah.
That is good. Yeah, I
Yeah.
recall I
Also
watched one.
the V2G chargers, right? You can sell the power out of your car to the grid and get some money from it. Some people were just swapping for free and then going to the V2G chargers and earning money, and that would be like their job, Just take power from the battery swap station, and then bring it back to the grid and earn money. I mean, that's really stupid.
Oh,
So like,
okay.
it makes sense for NIO to like stop.
They have to.
Yeah.
They have to.
So
But
hey,
no
P,
wonder.
maybe you know this.
Go ahead.
Was this actually part of the like against the terms of service originally, and they just didn't enforce it, or did they actually have to change like the TOS?
They changed it. They had to add it. Like before, like a lot of people were buying the car for the free battery swap, and people were using the car as trucks, basically, like carrying stuff. And I remember back in New Day 2022, so it was like when they announced the EC7 and ES8, CEO talked about how there was one NIO ES6 that did like a ton of swaps, so many swaps that the swap fees were enough to buy a BMW X3. And he talked about that on stage. I don't know if you guys remember that. Basically, that guy was just driving nonstop, using his car as a truck to bring stuff from like A to B and A to B and just swapping every day like crazy. But I mean, the point was like the mechanism stood to the test of time, and swapping that many times, the swapping mechanism still works. So that's what he wanted to prove. But I guess he also revealed that some people have been using it for business purposes. So NIO kind of stopped allowing people to use free battery swap for business purposes. So if, for example, if I who have free swap, I have free swaps, Ting has free swaps. If we decide to all of a sudden do like Uber, Didi here in China, and it got like NIO finds out, we would have the privilege taken away, basically. So we can't use it for business purposes. Like, yeah. So they added that.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. For Tesla, they do not have like a bi-directional, so you can only charge, but you cannot discharge. You can discharge only by AC or the 12-volt socket, which is not much, and driving. Right, that's the most of it. So, all right, Eric, I think we can start with all your unofficial intro.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it quick this time. So, welcome everybody to the Blue Sky Coming NIO podcast, unofficial, unauthorized podcast about NIO. And I am Eric. Of course, I had an EC6 and an ET7, and we're going to talk about taking deliveries today. And Mr. P and Ting, why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Yep. So I'm Mr. P, EC6 owner here in China. Been driving the car for more than 3 years. Love the car. Still works like as if it's the first day I had it. So fantastic car.
Yeah, I'm Ting. The ES6 owner. Been using it for almost 5 months now. Like Mr. P, love the car and still got that free swap, like you said. So it's all good.
All right, so like I said, today we're going to talk about NIO service and all that stuff. But first, like usual, we're going to get into rumors and news from Mr. P. So why don't you start us off, Mr. P?
So quickly, talking about some deliveries. So last week, for the first week of January, NIO delivered 3,000 vehicles. 3,000 doesn't look very good, but compared to Xpeng with 1,400, compared to Tesla, which only had 3,200, NIO actually did quite well relatively. So that's something to keep in mind. And also, a lot of that is because of the policy change in Shanghai, making it a little bit more difficult, 3 times more difficult to get license plates. But if people that have been there for quite a while, I mean, they'll have no problem getting license plates anyways. So that's the delivery front. In terms of rumors, what we're seeing, well, something we've noticed, with the annual letter. So the CEO wrote an annual letter about saving money, trying to save the best they can, every piece of paper, every kilowatt hour of electricity that they do not need to waste. So that's I think that's very nice for shareholders to know about. Yeah, and also I've noticed that they stopped publishing the stats for NIO House and NIO Space deployment. So we don't really see stats about that. And my assumption and what I'm seeing is they're probably slowing down the pace of building more stores, probably because A, to save money, but B, also because of the sub brand might also need a couple stores, and they might be soon building stores for the sub brand. So that's some of the rumors. And also, of course, we heard NIO, the big partnership today with so many guys, with Cherry, with JC again, JC Group, yeah, and then also with the government. All right, so with the Anhui government, which is quite surprising, yeah. And so the government, the traffic police, and also some other investment entities and NIO, they formed a company. So they formed a new company, and that company's job is pretty much to build out swap stations and standardize battery swap. So it seems like NIO is getting closer and closer to becoming the standard for battery swap, which is pretty nice. Yeah,
So,
that's
Mr.
gonna
P,
be it.
Mr. P,
Yeah.
can I jump in and ask you? So, on that kind of cooperation, is it just building like power swap stations? You think just for like NIO vehicles, or I mean, or like private vehicles, or do you think it'll also potentially be like maybe taxis in Anhui that will switch to power swap?
Oh, it's probably like standardized, like AKA everybody. So it's gonna be like the partnership swap stations. So public, more like the ones that everybody like Geely and Chang'an, Cherry, these guys can all use those swap stations, including NIO's Alps and including NIO's main brand. NIO probably can also use those swap stations as well.
So
Yeah.
why would the government transportation company want to get involved with that though? Like, what do they have to stand besides standardizing it, making rules, I guess?
Well, I guess they really like NIO because NIO CEO, I mean, the government really loves NIO and NIO CEO because they brought a lot of employment in Anhui province. So that's why like they really love Will and Lee. And I've seen like a lot of other clips where it's like sort of like conferences, and it's government officials from Anhui, and then also NIO CEO is also there, and they talk back and forth, and they're all like appreciative of each other. So it's a very good relationship that they got with the government, and obviously with the government. I mean, NIO has helped build so much in Anhui with the factories, and also bring other auto companies, inspiring them to build factories in Anhui as well. So NIO has done a lot for them. Yeah.
I mean, I know that I would love to see NIO, at least with the sub brand or one of the sub brands, build out a swap network for taxis in Anhui or in Hefei, especially. Like last time I was in Hefei, most of the taxis and the share cars, a lot of them were still internal combustion. And then like when I was in Kunming, for example, which is, Southwest China, probably even less developed than Anhui now, all the taxis there were Beijing automotive, and they were swappable, and they were all fully electric. So it seems like Anhui is kind of falling behind. You guys don't see this possibly being a future move for NIO?
Taxi is definitely possible. Yeah. With like well here in Beijing as well, like the taxis here are also all electric, and they all can do battery swaps, yeah, at the Beiqi swap station. Yeah.
Well, hopefully those
And
government relationships can pay off in that sort of way. Go ahead, Ting.
no, I'm just saying like the battery swap for the taxi is really fast. When I first tried the first swap with Mr. P like 1.5 years ago with your car, Mr. P, that time, then I went out to find out the other type of swap, right? Just for my curiosity, I found that the container, the orange container from Beijing, their setup
Yeah.
is really simple. You just drive
Yeah.
through. It's like a drive through. A lot of the viewers also suggest that you should have like drive through and all. That's what the taxi in Beijing that's what they do, right? Like they just drive through it, lift up the swap, and it's like a lesser care to the car.
Yeah.
So
It's more
for
rough.
taxi, it's fine. Yeah, you're not gonna be comfortable to drive your own car onto the swap station for the taxi and then get it all done, right? Because it's kind of rough. It's like, you know, if you
Yeah.
think NIO sounds when you do a battery swap, it's like harsh. You should go check out that battery swap from the taxi side. It's even
Yeah.
more, it's
I
hurtful.
put up a
Rudimentary.
video, I think, on my channel, my own channel, on my shorts, I think, with the Beijing swap in Kunming.
Yeah, I did one review too. Yeah, it's kind of finished within 2 minutes, I think, 2.5 minutes. It's really
Yeah.
fast because there's no reverse parking. Just drive like forward, right, to the spot, finish changing, and then just drive forward. So you save like 40 seconds there, at least, just for parking. Yeah, but it's good to
All I
see
know,
if the
all I know is,
government.
go ahead.
Yeah.
I would just like to see some of these deals that they're making, at least for the investors. I know we're not really an investor show, but at least like have these deals turn into like vehicle sales or vehicles delivered, not just, you know, partnerships that we don't really see any real results from, at least not very quickly.
Yeah, these partnerships are more like a framework agreement, right? That's what they say. It's basically like they agree we're gonna work together. In the future, our cars are gonna be able to do battery swap at those public swap stations. It's agreement that they see eye to eye and we're gonna work together. But I'm sure they probably discussed about like how many cars they're gonna build and stuff like that. But that's not public information yet, and it wouldn't really look bad. It wouldn't really look good if, like, say one partner said they're gonna build like 100,000 cars capable of battery swap, and then the other guy says, "Oh, we're gonna build only 10,000." So, like, yeah, it would be better to just keep the numbers to themselves. Yeah, for now. Yeah.
What about?
Yes,
Okay,
just
go ahead.
since we are on the subject with the new partners, and would they expand, like put the focus into the building all the infrastructure out in European as well, or these two are like sort of separating out?
Well, I mean, I think. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think that still the problem in Europe, I don't think is necessarily that they like can't build the infrastructure, like they don't have the ability to. I think it's more regulation still, like we talked about before. You know, it's a big challenge of even just once they build them, getting them like online and being able to operate.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. NIO's president actually said that they have the strength, but they can't use it because of the permits for the like construction and how it has to be like a building permit, and that's really hard to navigate. But it does mean that over the next 1 or 2 years, you're just gonna like there's gonna be a bunch of swap stations pop up over Europe that are just gonna be online like all at once, pretty much. So yeah, it's just being delayed basically.
And like when it comes to the European infrastructure, actually, they did. I think it was today I saw on Instagram. They did announce their first power journey in Europe. I'd have to double check, but that was a thing that like I went on the power journey, and Will from China Driven went on a power journey. NIO supported us for those videos. But a power journey is essentially like a route that NIO kind of curates for their users and shows them where they can go, the really beautiful special sites they can see, and how they can use NIO Power, whether it's destination chargers or superchargers or power swap. So they did launch that. I think that was today, right?
Yeah, that was today. Yeah.
And that was Netherlands to Munich or something. I have to double check. I didn't really get a good look at it, but it was like castles and canals, I think they called it. So it's cool. They are building stuff in Europe for sure.
Yeah.
But you know what? You know what next will come to Europe maybe faster than the swap station? I think it's the phone, man. The phone may be going to Europe, man.
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
Just the update a few days ago with the Sky UI 1.2.1. Now it's fully support for Google Mobile Service. So I know that the intention here is just for the user to use the phone outside of China, right? Like maybe the owner of the NIO in China need to travel abroad, so he still can use that the phone outside of China, can use Google, whatnot, right? But on the other hand, this open the room for possibility of having a NIO phone for the user in Europe too, if it pass all the FCC or something equivalent over there, right? It's highly possible, I think.
Exactly, yeah.
But they may get the Gen 3 Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 maybe, not the Gen 2 one, probably.
Do you guys spend much time in the NIO European app at all, Mr. P or Ting?
Oh, I do. Yeah, every day.
Do? So you've probably
Yeah.
seen like quite a few people have actually. I mean, it's not a really busy app. It's not that many users, but quite a few of the users have made requests for the phone. Like they'd like to get it. They say they want it, and I think some people even have got it, even though it doesn't work with their car. So those are like also NIO super fans and power users.
Yeah, I think for NIO to sell the phone there, like they would have to get the phone like clarified, right? Like
Approved,
cleared
yeah.
for you. And then also I think the biggest factor is the software. The software features, like I've seen several posts, like it doesn't really support the phone functions. Like you don't get the same functions you have here in China because the software is very different there. So that's kind of like a bummer, I guess. And hopefully they can work it out and, you know, let those European users be able to get the convenience that us Chinese NIO users are getting with the NIO phone. Yeah.
Mm. I now switched 100% to my EP edition now. Like my iPhone is now used as the how to call the live dashboard on the car when I record, when I do a test drive and stuff. But my main phone is this one now. Since GMS is active, I did try all of the apps, even the application used for the bank in Thailand, which is known to be really hectic when you use the Chinese phone, right? Like they know that it's Chinese phone with the app, with the ads and bloatware, it wouldn't run. But with NIOs, it doesn't have any ads, right? So it doesn't record the screen or anything. So when you install it, it's really clean, and it's really like a first try. You don't need to like try to work around to make it work. It's like first time it worked. So it's all now switched to this one until I find another problem. I don't know, but now so far so good.
That's good. I barely use my NIO phone. Only sometimes I take two phones out, like one for pictures, because the NIO phone takes some pretty good pictures. But I don't have a NIO car right now, so I don't really have a need for the NIO phone. My iPhone works just fine.
Oh, some technical question. Okay, let's do this question first. Maybe each of us would have some different opinion, right? Rather.
Mm-hmm.
How about P? You go first.
Well, yes, and the reasoning I invest in NIO is because of the fact that, first of all, I'm confident that, and many other people that are longtime NIO owners are pretty confident that NIO will surpass Tesla one day because of the fact that of the quality, user first, and also the focus on tech, and then the upgradability, the swappability aspect of the car, all that kind of stuff. And for me personally, my thesis is more for like power swap, energy dominance, right? Because I think for cars, it's going to be pretty hard to like really sell a lot, especially with NIOs that are quite expensive. For sub brand, they might sell quite decently well, but the real money is to be earned with the swap station network, the public swap station network. All right. And also energy trading and selling the energy back to the grid during peak hours. That's what I think. And also, I think as a brand, I think NIO is sort of becoming like the Apple of China. Okay. And I think in essence, you know, you see NIO working on their own phone, and also they're getting their own chip, right? Designing their own chip. Like it's so difficult to design a chip, and NIO's able to get it done. and have such a good performance. So that's pretty amazing in my aspect, in my opinion. So in terms of like a tech company, NIO is pretty amazing, and just even though right now they're burning quite a lot of money, but that's pretty much in infrastructure and R&D. And I think in the future, NIO is fantastic. Fantastic company. They're doing the right thing, and customers love the company. All right, customers love the company. I've just watched one video on on WeChat where there was this one NIO owner who was in a face-to-face meeting with William Lee, and he said, "As long as I live, I will only buy NIO." It's just the amount of support NIO gets from its owners is quite nice, and it's hard to come, which is really nice. Yeah. All right, that's it for me. Yeah.
All right, Ting, you want to go or you want me to go?
I'll be a short answer, I think, because I don't own any NIO stocks. I'm not in stock market, so I'm sorry, guys. I just love the car and the tech, and myself, I have another Tesla Model S and a NIO, so I think it is the best for the two, right? Supercharge and the battery swap and other techs. And just for the contrast in China here, all the feature that the US can use, like FSD or anything in Tesla, is sort of useless here for China Chinese Tesla. How to call it? Tesla that's sold in China is pretty much useless. So NIO and other brands of the China origin, they would beat Tesla badly. Actually, they beat Tesla right now on that aspect, right? I just love the tech and the company, so I'm not owning any stock, so that's all from my side, I think. Go ahead, Eric.
So the question of, do I think NIO can become as competitive as Tesla globally? I would say that they have a big problem, and that is the China problem. A lot of people just don't like China for a variety of reasons that we don't need to get into here. People don't trust China, and people don't think China makes quality products. So that's going to be a really big hurdle to overcome globally. I mean, even in China, Chinese people sometimes feel the same way. Like, you look at Tesla in China, they still sell a lot of cars, even though, in my opinion, personal opinion, a lot of cars have more features, have better price, maybe even look nicer. I mean, it's all subjective, of course, but like, you look at the Xpeng, what is it, G6, right? That's like 200,000 RMB, and how many cars are they selling? It's not a Model Y killer at all. You look at all these cars that come out, and they are very competitive, and they don't really compete really when it comes to sales and mind share. Like Tesla's Kleenex, right? You think about tissue paper, you think about Kleenex. That's what Tesla is for EVs. So NIO has a big hurdle to overcome if they can do that. Why I own NIO stock? I don't really talk about my investments too much. Most of my investments are like total market ETF, like VOO, right? Like when it comes to like some play investments, like just small money or smaller money than the main investments, I buy products or companies that I like. That's why I buy NIO stock, because I think it's a good company. I feel like personally I am not special. So if I like something, then there's probably going to be a lot of other people that also like something. And if people resonate with that brand, then they're going to succeed, or at least have a good chance of succeeding. So that's why I would buy an individual stock like NIO. But most of my portfolio is like ETFs. So, and that does very well for me, much better than NIO stock. So I would recommend you buy that and not NIO.
Or buy a car. Buy a car is okay.
Yeah, or buy a car. Enjoy the car. Yeah, enjoy the car.
Enjoy the products.
Stock.
Yeah, the product will give you I know the money in the bank it is, but the product is what you have right now. You can touch it. Something that is you can at least sit on it.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Say hi to one of the people from Canada, I think.
Canada.
Mr. P, you would know him maybe.
What's up, fellow Canadian?
You guys can speak French together.
One more question, and then we can go on with another discussion. I think Mr. P already touched on some of the delivery for the first few weeks, right? But what are actually the demand right now, and are they increasing the sale strength there, hiring more and all?
Well, in general, I'm just gonna put it this way: all the stores are quite empty. All right, not just NIO's, but like everybody's stores are quite empty. All right,
Not just car stores.
Yeah, like everything is quite empty. Yeah.
Yeah.
So take it for what it's worth. I mean, I'm not seeing a whole lot of customers, even at some of the Li Auto stores. I mean, like, there's more sales reps than customers. Like, yeah. So, I mean, if you look at deliveries, NIO's falling, but still falling less than the other guys. So I think that's what's the big takeaway is. Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know if we want to talk about the Chinese economy too much. I've made it clear a few times that I feel like it's not doing so hot. I went to the mall today. Actually, I also went to an office building today, and there were so many empty, like the whole 5th floor of this tower I was on was completely empty except the one office I had to go to, and it was all just like abandoned. It was, not the prime real estate, not the nicest office building, but totally empty office tower, basically. Go to the mall and there's not much activity going on. I don't know what Beijing's like, so maybe you guys can fill me in. But yeah, when I went to NIO Space or NIO House, there's not too many people there either. So
I didn't go to the mall a long time already. Maybe Mr. P.
You don't go eat?
I eat at home, man.
Oh yeah.
Eat at the mall, you need to spend too much. I need to pay for a lot of stuff, like the car. 2 cars is too much.
Yeah.
Well, I can talk about like the malls that are close by, and it's the one that we've all actually been to. Like when we filmed the NIO Manager video with Eric, also ET5 test drive video with Tang. That place, Shine Hills, it's actually quite crowded, but I mean, like, it's only crowded like people window shopping. All right, like just walking around, maybe eating dinner, stuff like that, eating out. So the restaurants are doing okay, but like the stores, physical stores, I mean, you do see a lot more people at like those discount places like Uniqlo, that kind of stuff. So yeah, Miniso, yeah. Burger King is quite crowded, just across from Li Auto. So yeah, but apart from that, like the stores themselves, there aren't that many customers in them. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, food or restaurant, those are, I think it's indicator of how good the place or environment or surrounding, how good they are. Like a lot of people, like you said, window shopping, they can get almost everything online, but they might need to go and touch the real thing first before they go online and they get it. So
yeah,
and they may get a pretty good deal off on the online deal as well, rather than like get it from the store. But you still need to go and touch it, right? Like, hey, how it feels, how to hold it in your hand before you
and
buy
even ordering a car, even ordering a NIO or a Li, you just do it on your phone. Like when I bought my car, like first I went for a test drive, and then I just got on the app and I downloaded a car, right?
Yeah. But you might need to like touch the seat, like kind of grab it a little bit, have the feeling of okay, it's not going to be a crappy one when you get it, But the food is like you need to eat, right? So either you order Waimai, let them send it to your home, which is maybe, if you calculate the time and the effort and the money to just go and eat and come back, maybe Waimai is a good deal too. So I mean, economy is not the best, but it's still like kind of cruising, I think.
Yeah, it's still moving, but it's definitely not how it used to be, and it's not. I don't feel like it's as good as people had hoped it would be after COVID ended.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. It's not as like a steep growth like a few years back, for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's talk about our delivery experience and service experience.
Sure. You can share
Tank-
yours first. You are like yours and Eric was like a way
I
long ago, right? Let's see how it is
but
changed.
I feel like you should go first because you're recent, because ours was so far away. Or maybe we can compare and contrast old first, then new. I guess also works.
Okay. So, ta-da! This one.
Oh, there you go.
So this actually is on the NIO app. You can actually like post it. So that day I was too excited. So, and on NIO app, everything is in Chinese, right? And I post everything in English because my Chinese sucks, right? So, but still, people kind of like feel appreciated on what we took, right? At that day, I was Mystery was with me that day, so you can also add up something which I missed. Um, the 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 separate thing, right? The sales guy who actually I did the test drive with and all, those are sales. And now when we're in the delivery center, there's a sort of like a delivery specialist or something. We could call him a specialist, and he would just guide you through all of the process to have a complete delivery. There will be a welcome package, and inside there's a sort of like a document showing you that NIO is a battery swappable EV. You can get it's like a pamphlet, like color printed, and it just guided you to see, okay, you get this EV, and actually you can charge or swap the battery. So that is like a sort of something in which, if you don't know before, you just like the car because it looks good. On that day, you will know that, okay, you can also do the battery swap and some other things. Then we go through all the paperwork, sign the document and all. And yeah, before we take the car out, there would be like a group celebration. We asked all of the delivery staff to come and join us on the photo too, because they did a really good work there, right? So it's like, come on, it's not only us, and you make all of this happen. So we had a really great time at the delivery center. And
just to interrupt, the guy on the second from the left, he's actually the guy that helped me take delivery like 3 years ago. Yeah, this guy, yeah.
So he's still there.
Pretty amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
no promotion for him.
Yeah, he's still
probably
there.
like maybe a senior ones, and he asked the other guys around maybe. Because he come at the end only. He doesn't how you call, he doesn't like come to like, hey, you sign this, you need to go here and there. That's the other guy's job. At the end, when we ask like, hey, you can gather all the stuff, we want to take a photo with all of you, then he came. He could be supervisor already.
Yeah, when I took delivery, he came at the start. He was
so
the one handing us the flowers and stuff.
Yeah. This time he's a supervisor already, I think. And they did a remarkable job. Like if I would compare to experience with the Tesla, it would still be better than when I took my Model S 7 years ago. Like Tesla 7 years ago, they were the only one major brand, right, for EV in China. So the delivery, they put some thought on it. There's something similar to this, but this is still top it. This is still beat the experience compared to 7 years ago. And if I compare to my recent one, like last month when I took this Model S, it's like completely different. It's more like a do it yourself kind of thing, right? When you make an appointment, you arrive the place, the staff will just, because of a pandemic, we cannot have any food, anything. You just come, they give you a package that inside there's a key card, one package, that's it. And then they just, the car is somewhere down there. You go down and have a look. And I was like, okay, so we have to go and find our car itself. The app, everything is not activated yet because you need to check the status of the car and everything before you accept it, right? So you need to go down, and then since it's only one Model S in the delivery on that day, so it's just parked right down there so we can see it. But imagine like 30 or 40 of Model Y, Tesla Model Y, all black, interior black, and it's like a parking and you need to go find it. I was wondering how would they manage, right? But for our case, we just saw it. It's just down there. There's no red car around, so it must be that one. But for all the black Tesla Model Y parking, I just felt the the owner arrived there, and then they just need to walk around and find which one is theirs.
So
Black
nobody was
is
the-
helping you for that, right?
So what?
So there wasn't anybody guiding you, like it's in
No,
the
no.
back,
They
like
give you
over
the
there.
key. Yeah, they give you a key, and then they say, your parking, your car is parking at this slot, this row. So you just go and look for it, and then check the physical appearance, everything. If you're okay, then sign it off, and then make a payment and all of this thing.
Wow.
So
It's not like they don't look into details of which interaction with the customer as much. There are some, but it's not that if you compare to NIO is like completely different. There's some human touch to it.
so they
You
don't
feel
teach
like
you like how to use the car.
Or they just a brief one, just like really
Okay.
brief one.
Okay.
Yeah. But NIO is like much different. So if I compare between the two, I would be more happy to get the ET9 if I need to change my another car for like next 10 years. Then maybe I'll go with ET9. I don't know. But maybe if Tesla is still like FSD is really US only, then there's no point getting Tesla here, man. Seriously. The tech is cool, but it cannot be used here. I would go with like NOP Plus or NAD from NIO would be supreme by then. So that's from my experience. Great time, man. The kids are having fun. They got all the they know the kids are there, so they put all of these balloons and everything. I think it's like becoming a standard now for delivery. So, and the little one was taking a video of the car. We got that chocolate. What do you call it? It's a chocolate color. I don't know how to call it in Chinese. This, but it's like a chocolate. Don't ask me why. The ladies and the girls like it. So sweet, And that's
Everybody
me
likes
putting
chocolate.
the plate. Yeah. Yep. Front and back. That is my remarkable experience with NIO on delivery. Mr. B was there, so he know what I was talking about.
What's your plate? AT7610? That's not a good number, is it?
Who cares, man? Why? I know that people care about number. Now, in Thailand, they care so much. Sometimes when you take the delivery, you need to pick the date. And sometimes the delivery center, they push you to take the car before. So you miss the date for the good omen, for the good luck and all. I gave up on that long time ago. So far still care. So I hope you treat me well. Huh? All right. Too much for me. You guys.
All right,
Sure,
Eric?
I'll go. Yeah, I'll go. So, of course, I think my experience was pretty similar to Ting when I picked up my car in China, in Shenzhen. It looked like my delivery center was quite a bit smaller than the one you were at, but they have built a new, bigger one here in Shenzhen since then. But yeah, my experience was great. Like, there's the picture behind me. That was my car when I picked it up. And they really took care of me. Like, they went through everything with the car, how to open the trunk, how to drive the car, like literally everything. It was like an hour long. I put that video up on my channel a couple years back from when I did take delivery. So I was very happy. I remember having like one kind of silly complaint though, is when they made me a coffee and then they gave me the cup, but it didn't have a lid on it. And then as soon as they gave me the coffee, they're like, okay, let's go take a look at your car. And so now I'm going into my car with a coffee without a lid. It's like such a minor detail, but I feel like in a lot of times NIO is very detail oriented. So it's like, I don't really want to take a latte into my car without a lid on it and spill it on the first day. So hopefully they've fixed that since then. I don't know if you got a coffee, Ting or P when you guys picked up your car, but yeah, that was my experience with the NIO in China. I also had a NIO delivered to me in Germany, and that experience was, to be honest, not very good. It was delivered by a third party, which I think NIO in Europe, or at least in Germany, has since changed that process. But it was first of all, I remember there was like 3 attempts at delivery when the car they said was on its way, and then it didn't show up, and they weren't communicative at all. So it was kind of a really poor experience. But when the car finally did come in Germany, it was delivered by a third party. The guy basically just dropped off the car. He didn't speak English really anyway, and I can't speak German, so it didn't really matter. Plus, I already know how to operate a NIO. But it wasn't like he knew the car. He just was a delivery guy. So that was fine. But like I said, I think they've changed that. And when I look at the European app now, I do see a lot of people like actually like at a delivery center or at like a parking garage somewhere picking up their car with their NIO fellow and having a much more similar experience to what we experience in China. Maybe not quite the same, but similar. And I know Tiago is in the chat now, possibly. So maybe he could actually leave a comment about his experience picking up his car in the Netherlands. Like I said last time, I think it's Netherlands. So maybe he can tell us how that experience has changed. And then I guess I can talk about too, getting delivery of a Tesla in California with my mom. And that experience wasn't really the best, I would say. Out of the 3, NIO Europe, NIO China, and Tesla in California, I would say probably the Tesla one was maybe the worst, like just because the car was a little bit dirty and it didn't really have a charge. It had like 50% charge, I think. And they basically just said, here's your car, go for it. They weren't really dedicated to service at all. But I mean, it was fine. Once you get the car and you leave, it's whatever, right? But I think the first impression out of the 3 of NIO, the first impression in China is so good. The service is so good, detail oriented, and then from there it falls off quite drastically from my experience, both Europe and then Tesla in California. So yeah, but I was really happy with it in China.
All right, my turn. So when I took delivery of the car, it was very exciting. Straight off the bat, like when you walk into the delivery center, you tell them you're taking delivery, then a dude comes with like a big bunch of flowers and hands it to you. It says like congratulations, and like tells you like with a big smile. And it was exactly that dude, that second dude from the left, and he welcomes you. He shows you the key. You do a little bit of some like signing stuff, paperwork, and then you get to go in. He holds the key up, and then he presses one of the buttons that like makes the car beep, and it tells you that's your car right there. And then while you're walking, he's showing you the function of the keys. And then you're all very happy once you get there, and then he compliments you on how much of a good choice you had on the color of the car, because I had the extreme blue color, and he said it's a very brave choice to go with this, and this is one of the best looking colors for the EC6, etc. And then he showed us all around the car, and when I took delivery, they still had like some wrapping stuff on it, and then I had to like take it off, and it was more like a ceremonial stuff. So it was very interesting experience. I really liked that. And then of course you pop open the trunk. There you had the NIO light, and also like more flowers and more like decorations saying congratulations. A little envelope with like some more paperwork inside, but on the back it says your delivery number. So I think I was like 34,000 something. So I was like the 34,000th NIO owner or something like that. And so they have this whole process, and then you take photos, etc. And then you have another guy who explains every single feature inside the car. Very, very nice, and like just walks you through everything. Very informative, and make sure that you know everything. And then after that, you go upstairs, you sign the paperwork. Basically, you check the car, make sure it's fine. And you sign the paperwork, you choose your insurance options. They explain to you the insurance very well. And then after that, you're pretty much all set. And then they drive the car to the front, and then hand the keys over to you, and then you can drive it back home, basically. And then I think one thing that NIO really prioritizes is the customer experience. here in China, and how customers feel about everything. And I think everything that NIO does, or anytime you're dealing with service or anything like that, afterwards they have a rating system. And here in China, rating is pretty important. Like anything you do here in China, it's there's a rating system, and it's very important for the worker and also the company. And if you give them a bad rating, they might get severely penalized. And that's why I think for one point they are pressured to really do their best, but then also it's part of the culture, I think. And listening to you guys with the Tesla experience, you can tell like NIO really encourages its employees to give the best experience to customers, the best they can. Yeah. So that was my delivery experience. It was absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Perfect.
Well, I want to talk about customer service real quick too, if I can. I know I've shared this story before, but if people might not have heard, when I was traveling all around China in 2021 in the EC6 that I had, and I was out far west China, and I was like, I want to go out to this place called Mars Camp. It's like in the desert. There's nothing around it for hundreds and hundreds of miles. And NIO was like, we'll help you plan it. Like they took charge. They were proactive, and they were like, we'll help you plan it. We'll make sure you know how to get there, and we'll make sure we'll be in a certain place with the mobile charging van at a certain time on a certain day, because they're like, you're not even going to have cell phone service out there. And so they told me how fast I could drive. They're like, do not exceed 100 kilometers per hour for these days. You know, don't sit around in your car with your AC on or your heater on. Like, you need to conserve the energy. You need to follow these steps, and you'll make it just fine. And then, you know, at 10 o'clock in the morning on like the third day in the desert with, again, nothing around at all, the van was a little bit late, but it showed up. And, you know, like I had no battery left. Basically, it was like exactly what they said. And I had no phone service, but they showed up and they were there. And like the service is just completely incredible, and like way above and beyond anything you would expect, not just at delivery, but after delivery, which I think is probably even more important.
Wow. So
Dang.
I guess
Stunned them
I'll
into silence.
elaborate a bit more on service stuff. There's actually a very interesting story that I was told by one of these founder NIO owners. Like, so they bought a NIO at the very start, and he told me how with NIO's like rating, like the 5-star rating system is super important for NIO employees, especially those in customer service. And he told me how like there was once a event that the NIO house specialist, NHS specialist, organized, and it was like a soccer event. And then one of his friend was supposed to bring the drone for taking photos, but he forgot, so he was a bit upset at himself, but he gave the event a bad rating. So he was upset with himself, but he gave the event a 2-star rating, and that ended up cutting the that NHS worker's salary by half, basically. And so when he went to the NIO house, he found out that that NIO house lady was crying, all crouched down and stuff. And that's when he learned that it was because of that bad rating. That one bad rating cut her salary by half. So of course he couldn't let that slide. He talked to some of the upper management people and got that revoked. So that was pretty good of him. But it shows how important customer service is here in China. I mean, everything is based off of customer satisfaction. Yeah.
True. One bad rating could cost the job, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
But salary cut by half, that's tough too. Oh man.
Yeah. What about you guys? Did you guys have any like service experiences with NIO?
So far has been good. Yeah, I did pass the tire once. They come all the way to my home and then patch it. with that truck, the service truck.
Oh, how
Service
fast was
van.
that?
Sorry.
How fast was it? Like,
Uh,
how long did it take for him to get there?
Since I placed the order, it took them 1.5 hours to arrive. But since I'm at home, right, not on the roadside. On the roadside, maybe they'll come faster. I said I'm not in a hurry, so they maybe lined up my queue to like really, they serve all those urgent ones first. 1.5 hours to arrive, and they took 40 minutes to finish everything.
Wow.
One man, one guy, one guy.
Yeah, one guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar experience with me. Like I scraped my tire and it popped, and I was like, oh crap. So I called the tire repair service, and they were able to get there within like 1 hour and then get the job done, like super fast. I mean, those guys were pretty amazing. Yeah. And what's really amazing is the tire pressure sensors in the car. Like if it goes below a certain threshold, NIO knows about it, and then they call you. They tell you, hey, we've noticed your tire pressure is kind of low. You got to be careful. Don't drive too fast. Might be a little bit dangerous. Do you want us to dispatch a tire repair van? So
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's next level stuff.
That's what happened to me, Mr. P. When I had a flat tire, I had driven over a nail at some point, and I woke up in the morning to NIO calling me like 8:30 in the morning and said, "We think your tire's flat." And I was like, "Okay, I'm just waking up, right?" And I went down and checked, and I said, "Yeah, we got a flat," and they asked me, "Well, we can come fix it," and I said, "Yeah, same thing as Ting, no hurry. I wasn't going anywhere." So they came out, I think, a few hours later and fixed it. But yeah, they knew before I did. It's crazy.
Yeah, and like I've seen like some other stores on the NIO app, like some NIO owners with their NIO, and they took a boat to like a secluded island, and got their tires, like they got a tire puncture there, and NIO also brought the van over the boat to the island to patch up their tire, which was pretty incredible stuff. And like some other stuff that I've seen is for example, if you get in an accident, like a severe accident, a crash, I've seen some people talk about how the SOS stuff really saved them quite well. Like the moment you get into a crash, NIO knows about it, and then they call you right away, and they ask you if you're okay, and they're sending help and everything. Like, and they're trying to make sure you're awake, and it calls directly through the car. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, they got people like making sure that everybody's okay constantly. So yeah, that's nice.
And actually, if you allow, they can just come and fix your stuff, everything without you being there witness, no? Like car parking there.
With the NFC.
They just come fix their stuff, and then they just notify you it's all done. And oh shoot, they finished already. Then you can go out and see if the car is fixed. Because with your authorization, you can let them like unlock the car, move the car, whatever, and then they fix the stuff.
So somebody commented there that they can't get that kind of service in Thailand, but is that kind of service even anywhere else? Like, I don't think NIO offers that in Europe for sure. I can't see, Tesla or any other car maker in America doing that kind of service. Is this something that can be exported?
Tesla, they got the mobile service, right? But they can fix only the minor things. Like 12-volt battery. They can't change tires for sure. They can't patch the tire on site. That is for sure.
Well, I know when my mom had the mobile service come to check out her car, he came in like a Model S. It wasn't like a van, like a work truck. It was like a guy in a Model S came in and like looked at it. But I think her car turned out to be fine. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, it wasn't. I think they do have vans, right? But maybe not a whole
Then they can patch the tire too for Tesla?
I'm not sure.
Maybe. I haven't seen it. Maybe they use Cybertruck in the future, because that's such a massive, and then they can put the power outlet, right? One other thing here is that on the service van, they got the mobile DC charger, just enough for you to charge to reach the swap station or whatever, right? Inside the van. I saw one like behind the tire tray. there's a DC charger in the back. And I checked with the guy, I said, what's the range you can charge with this? He said, just enough for you to go and swap it yourself. Or just enough for you to just go and charge in the DC station.
But I mean, that's how much they want to give you, but they actually can charge you quite a bit more, because I experienced
Definitely,
them
yeah.
charging
Because
me
they might need to
in
charge those cars, yeah. They might need
far
to charge
west
more than
China.
100.
Yeah, or in Inner Mongolia as well. I had to go. I forget how far, but
Yeah, I saw your
it
video.
was
They
it
come
was
and
quite
charge
far.
you.
Yeah, Inner Mongolia and in Qinghai, I think, and in Ningxia, I believe, 3 times, and for free, totally free. I didn't pay anything.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
This funny one. NIO is doing incredible. Just the stock market is funny. Yeah, I do agree. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. I tell you, if one tweet can pump up the stock price just from one tweet, I don't think it's real. I don't think it's I don't think it's reliable.
Hey, Tiago, in the comments, can you tell us about your experience in the comments getting delivery or any service stories from NIO in Europe, please, if you're still around?
He did comment from how to pronounce his name again, so I don't embarrass myself too much.
He told me it's Tiago, Tiago.
Tiago, okay. Yeah. Thanks, Tiago. Okay. I think Germany would be a little bit of challenge there. Basically, you were saying.
I think a lot of the service stuff has to do with cultural as well. Like here in China, like the story with the salary being cut in half. I mean, that really forces everybody to be at their A game in terms of service, right? But that's something that you can't do in Western society, right? You can't cut somebody's salary by half in Europe or in Canada or in the US. You'll get in a lot of trouble. So, yeah, I mean, this is a perfect question. Like in China, you're allowed to do that. In China, it's what it is basically. In China, your salary is based on your customers' satisfaction, and if they're not satisfied, then of course you don't get the salary. So that's what it is. But I don't think that's going to slide in Europe or any other countries, because it'll be hard to enforce. It'll have to be voluntary, like the service attitude and everything. It'll have to be like the people just very happy to give you a good time. So yeah.
So in China, I think maybe people might not understand is like how cutthroat it is, how many people are here vying for jobs and vying for recognition in their job as well. Like in my experience working in China in Chinese companies, there's like always like PK. I don't know, you guys know, like versus, I guess, like competition within the company. And then if one team does well, they might get a bonus. The other team, they will be often like embarrassed in front of people. Like they will find them like on the spot in front of the team. They'll say like, give me, money from your salary, like right now. Like it's happened plenty of times in my experience. It's quite brutal out here to work, actually. You have 996 culture. It's tough.
Yeah, and like a lot of the workers, service industry workers, are so dependent on like high customer satisfaction. I've seen multiple stories of delivery workers where the customer gave a bad score, and then the delivery worker, because of bad score, just really hurts their salary so much they couldn't handle it. Everything depended on their salary, and it's so important to them that they lost it and went back and unalived the customer, like that kind of shit. I mean, that's quite crazy. But yeah, that's China right there. Yeah,
it's hard.
We try to touch the word China less before we got lifted, before we got censored.
Yeah.
This is interesting. He said that they got the service team to install the 4 module on the EP7, which allow to store the Type 2 charging cable under the floor. Wow. Okay.
And Tiago, did you take delivery at like a NIO store, or did you take delivery at home? I guess we can check the
He
comments when
he
he
actually
gets back to us.
he actually give us a lot of info now. Yeah, first hour I'm not sure what's more. Yeah.
That's quite nice.
Okay, that's good. The phone module.
Utrecht.
This is what's good about it, right? Like they take the feedback from the users and then they try to, if it's actually benefit others, other user who had the same burden or same challenge. Man, that's a good job for the
It's kind
of
interesting too to think about, like, because the users in Europe and the users in China are quite different. They have different needs. Like no Chinese user needs a charging cable, so they probably never even considered that, right? But in Europe, you actually carry the charging cable with you in your car, so it's kind of entirely different experience. And they fix that for them.
That's cool. He took the delivery at the NIO Hub
Utrecht.
in Utrecht. I don't know. Man, I cannot pronounce. Sorry. That's nice. Kun Om said that one day NOP plus. Actually, if it's drive itself, it would be NAD, right? It's called NAD, right? If it's the above NOP plus is NAD. So it's like fully autonomous, like a FSD for Tesla. They would drive to swap itself. We saw the video there, right? And maybe it could drive to the service center and drive back. That's sick.
Yeah, but right now, like even right now, like with service, it's basically pickup service. Like if your car needs repair or like maintenance, you place it on the app, one tap, and then somebody's gonna come pick up your car, NFC remote access, and then unlock your car, drive it to the service center, and then get it fixed up, wash the car, charge it to full, and then drive it back to where it was parked before. And it's already quite nice. Already, yeah.
And I don't know if you know this. In the app now, there's a limo service. I'm not sure it's going to be the one using for EP9. During the launch date, if you get the ET9, you will have 100 hours of valet service or limo.
Chauffeur, yeah, dedicated driver, basically, yeah.
Yes, I'm not sure it's the same thing or even upscale for the ET9, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
A lot of like worry free, like what they call is worry free. Because when you want to get things done, it just get it done, and you have least to worry about. You just need to let them know that what you need, what the time frame you have, and then they just have it done within. I think that's what important.
Yeah.
I know Mr. P was talking about too on his channel, like the service where they can come and like do homework with your kids and stuff, right? So
yeah, they've been pushing that quite well, and it's getting a lot of traction here in China. I mean, people love it, man. It saves them time and it gets the work done. A lot of people say that sometimes like getting kids to do their homework and sometimes the parents don't know how to do the homework, but these guys come in and they know how to do the homework. They know how to install the computer. Damn, man, they're really like the word is like all purpose. So yeah, these guys are the jack of all trades. They can do anything.
So I think I think maybe a lot of people again that don't understand China don't really know like how much like the mobile service industry kind of works. Like at the supermarket near me, do you guys have Hema? Like they can come feed my dog. Like I can just book for like 10 kwai or whatever, and they can come to my door and feed my dog. Wow. It's ridiculous. Like I'm sure NIO could probably do that too with their service, right? They can do homework and feed your dog. But this is like NIO is definitely a I don't know if they're following a trend or they're leading the way, but this is something that's very, very common in China from my experience now.
Oh, this is another thing, another type of the NIO ecosystem, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of the NIO Live stuff. I keep posting all the time when I get.
I think we're gonna have a episode with the main theme of NIO life in the future, but
of
we
the
can
NIO
probably
life. Yeah.
briefly talk about
I
NIO
just
life
need
here
to
too.
grab all of my stuff, and
Yeah.
Mr. P would grab some beer and snack from NIO life, and then we have a NIO life snack party.
Every
the
episode
podcast.
so far, I'm wearing a different NIO life shirt or NIO life jacket or hoodie. This is my third one so far. I got a few more. We can start rotating them in and out.
Yeah, they have quite a lot of products, and especially if they sell some of the expensive ones. Like I've seen, like right now they're still selling the like expensive fitness gear, and if you buy those, that's gonna be like a lot of revenue. But also like they used to have like chairs, sofa. For a while, there was that really super expensive couch that they sold, and it was made with Haptex leather or something, or it was a Napa leather. It was basically like the same leather that they use in the seats of NIO cars, and it was very expensive, and people actually were like quite surprised by it. But yeah, they do sell a lot of high-end stuff, also like pots and pans, bed sheets, pillows, I mean like snacks, all sorts of stuff, wine, beer, tea, like tech equipment. Right now I'm charging the phone with NIO Life cable 3-in-1. This is it's plugged into my phone right now. So yeah, there's a whole slew of stuff. And the thing is, I like it's more like NIO puts branding on them. It's not like NIO has to spend money to self-develop this. It's more like they get people to make them, and they put the branding on it. So it's not a lot of expenses for NIO. So that's if
It's
that's
like white
something people
labeling
are worried
products.
about. Yeah, exactly. And but it does have to meet, of course, their own like quality stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I was showing this. This is a NIO light, and it has like a carabiner kind of like hook. It's really cool. I really like it. But everywhere I go in my house, there's like NIO stuff everywhere. It's ridiculous. I got NIO Christmas ornaments.
Yeah, before I used to shop in the Xiaomi store, right? A lot of stuff is from Xiaomi, and now it's like mixed between Xiaomi and the NIO life. Kind of. Soon maybe some's available on the Mi store only. Then I will still get it from there. But some snack is pretty good in NIO life, so I will keep buying from NIO life too. So yeah, I asked Tiago to share some app link because I don't have the EU app, right? If you post the link here, I can put on the screen so we can see the, because others who doesn't have that NIO Euro app cannot see this post unless this shared by the users. Yeah.
And definitely thank you, Tiago, for sharing your experience with us too, because it's interesting to
Thank you
see
very much.
how it's developing in Europe, because we're obviously not there.
It's always good to have the users from the Europe to join, share their experience with us. Yeah. So
for sure.
And if you're free, maybe you join our podcast when you got time, Thursday night, right, Eric?
Yep,
we
Thursday
can
night in
discuss the
China,
paper in
Thursday afternoon in Netherlands.
Yeah. See, someone is like me, man. Yeah, he also doesn't have a Xiaomi phone headphone. Oh, okay. Hi from Sweden. Hi. All right. What else other on the service that you think you haven't seen from the legacy ICE car, like even luxury one, Mercedes, BMW, or whatever brand it is, right?
I think so I want to add something. Very interesting thing is NIO doesn't shift blame. All right. So for example, if something's broken, they're not gonna try to say, "Oh, it's your fault." They're not gonna try to do that, which is very interesting. So for example, for me, my car has a invisible protective film that's wrapped around the car to protect it from scratches and stuff. So I went for a car wash at one of the NIO service centers, the one I usually film at. And afterwards, the next day, I found out that there was a hole in one of the one of the doors, like for the protective wrap. So like I assumed it was NIO's fault, that potentially it was NIO that perhaps maybe something happened. Maybe they used a water gun and the pressure was too high. So I said maybe this might have happened because of you guys, and they said right away that, hey, well, sorry, Mr. P, we'll arrange a somebody to pick up your car, send it to the service center, and they basically replaced the invisible wrap on my door right away. And yeah, and it was free of charge as well, and they just wanted to make sure that us NIO owners, we don't like we have a good time. Yeah. So not a lot of like trying to like dodge the blame and stuff like that. If there's something wrong, they admit it. They want to do better next time. And yeah. And hello, Peter.
So Tiago can't share his post, but he did send it to me on the app. Maybe I can just read part of it.
Yeah.
So he did say, today we picked up our new ET7 from the NIO Hub Utrecht, and a big thank you to the guys from NIO who on our pickup day, the first installation of their self-developed underfloor foam insert that replaces the styrofoam original insert. So a self-developed foam insert. And I don't know if we can see the picture here, probably not very well. Maybe.
Eric, can you click share button, and then it would send to the WeChat? Yeah, WeChat, send to my WeChat.
Okay, yeah, I can try that.
Yeah, so we can all see it. It's always good to see some photo in, like, so you have the same feeling of the one who posted.
Okay, it should be on your WeChat right now.
All right, man. Let me see. For sure, we can see it, man. Give me a moment. Let's bring up on the screen. This is the one.
Wow.
It's patiently guided us through the process of getting our first NIO to fetching our ET7. All I can say is wow. Wow. Where else is such an initiative for an apparently simple foam insert that came from suggestions by the UAB, which is the User Advisory Board? Each country in Europe has one. Suggestions that were heard and received by NIO and then developed and produced by a small local team for all us users. What an entrance into NIO ownership. There are no perfect cars, but a lot can be said by a service that is personal and tries their best. Bravo, for sure. That sounds like a really great experience, and I really appreciate you sharing that. Show the pictures now. Let's do it.
Ah, okay. So you can actually like wrap it up down there.
Wow.
Hey, I need to go back to look at my trunk if it's like this. Man, Diego, you now making me like a little bit, jealous here, man. You got a perfect cut there. Ah, that's nice. And then you can line up the Type 2 cable on top of it, and it's fit nicely with the front and back here, so it doesn't rattle. No, it's not rattling around when you drive. Nice.
Yeah, definitely. When I was driving the ET7 around and I had the cable in my trunk, it was just kind of sitting back there. So this would have been a lot better.
Oh, that's good. And it's like a precise cut, huh?
Wow, that's nice.
That's good, no?
And this is like free, right? Free of charge?
I think he said so, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing.
But
that's
even
really something.
For some fee, I'm still okay. With this, it's good.
Or even just NIO point.
Or can use a point. Yes, can use NIO point definitely. Oh, that's nice.
But
cool.
for sure one of the really big strengths of NIO is listening to feedback from their users.
Yeah, they listen to the users and then try no rattle. Yeah, so saw some shopping. Yep, that's right. That's right. That's cool, man. Yeah, any cool, interesting post on the app, you can just forward to Eric. We can pull it up here also to see how it was done and everything.
For sure. Oh, he said it cost 79 euros, but still not so bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not so bad.
Yeah.
I
See,
mean,
this is
it's
one of
like
the
an
user.
upgrade, right?
Yeah. This one of the user, he's Thai in China. He only has 6, the earlier version. So he
Wow.
got a car crash when they fixed some other stuff too, which he didn't actually ask them to or didn't expect them to do, but they did get it all sorted out too.
Which city is
Why not?
Tiwat in?
Tiwat is in up north. I can't remember. Kun
north?
Tiwat, where are you now? I think Jilin or someplace.
How do you Thai people handle the north of China in the winter? It's ridiculous.
Too cold. Even here, out here, it's too cold, man. Wear
Man,
more.
I'm too
wear
cold in
more.
Shenzhen.
Yeah.
Dalian. Oh man.
Dalian. Yes, Dalian. Yeah.
Wow.
Dongbei. Yeah. And it's cold, so the EVs always suffered the cold, but it can go to Europe without any problem, right? So for the hot weather, it's even better, like in Thailand, you know.
Have you guys had any
Right.
problem swapping in this when there's a lot of snow and ice?
This guy has before.
He has.
Yes. Blocked sensors. Yeah. Basically, that's the problem. The kryptonite for battery swap is mud and snow. Usually, if there's a technician, they would clear some of that up. But for me, when I went to do my swap, it was just there was so much snow, and the sensors could not align properly. And then that was one thing. So the swap would initiate. And then also the batteries actually froze onto the car. So it wasn't like because usually if you remove the screws, the battery will fall off because of gravity, but it was frozen onto the car that even if you remove the screws, it's still stuck there. So like the guy was like wondering like, where's the battery? Like what's going on with the battery? And then after a while, like because the swap station is a little bit warmer than outside, it melted and boom, the battery dropped, and that kind of was a little bit frightening, but yeah. But at the end of the day, it doesn't. It NIO gets it all done, so it's fine.
So
Yeah.
in the cold cities in the snow, do they add technicians like to stay at the swap stations, even if there are fully autonomous stations, like to clear the snow and the ice?
Yeah,
car?
some of them they do have technicians. Yeah, or
So that's
even like one technician for 2 swap stations.
That's just
Yeah.
another example of like the service that they want to provide for their users.
Yeah, and speaking of swap technicians, so nearby where I live, there's used to be a Gen 1 swap station. That is actually the first swap station that I actually swapped at, and I actually had a video on my channel as well. But that swap station is still operational, and there's still a technician there, and it's still 24 hours. And the technician, he sleeps in the van that's like right next to it. And what he does is like if you're swapping it because it's Gen 1, you have to get out. Then he says like you can hop onto our van, and like I go into his van, and oh my god, I mean it's pretty bad conditions. Like it's basically just a wooden like bench that he sleeps on, and there's like a water tank of water that he can drink water from, and it's pretty unfortunate, but it's pretty tough job. They gotta stay up at all night whenever there's a order for swap. They gotta go swap, and but it was nice that I was able to go inside and rest, stay warm, so that was very nice. Yeah.
Cool.
I only swapped one time during snows and like thick ice. They just have one guy to like kind of like push out all the ice from the spot where the ball would bolt in, I think. And then the parking, the automatic one failed because it was so slippery. You know, the swap station is kind of steep, no, when you get it up. So it was like,
yeah.
I think the ESP trigger. So I need to like reverse park manually. But it's not much of the big of the issue, I think. But if the swap station is like kind of level, or there's some kind of you get up to some same level before reverse in, then it would be like easy. It wouldn't slip, I think.
When I swapped in Germany with my mom, when she swapped, actually, there was a little bit of snow and not so bad. But the technician there, he cleaned all the sensors. Like he probably had like Windex or something, but he cleaned like the LiDAR and all the cameras and stuff. Really, really great service there in Germany as well. But no problem in the cold for Germany, for me.
Yeah. So far, love it, man. The compared to 28 minutes, which considering really fast for Tesla, 28 minutes from battery of 28% to 85. It took 28 minutes. But if I go to swap station, then it's 5 minutes. So I would still prefer take the NIO out.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think with swap, what you're also realizing is even if there's a big lineup, like here in Beijing with the taxis, even if there's a big lineup, they still prefer swap because the drivers get to stay in the car, stay warm. They don't have to get out. Same with, I guess, for us. I mean, if we had to wait 30 minutes to charge or like 30 minutes for swap, most people will actually pick swap because like you still get to stay in the car and like stay warm and just rest and chill. So that's the thing with swap. It's pretty good.
But plus also if it is a 30-minute wait, you can also choose to remain in the queue and like go walk around or do whatever you want, right? So
yeah,
it's not even if you are a person that likes to get out and stretch your legs or go use the highway rest stop or whatever, you can still do that as well. So it's like it's not really a choice, right? Like it's not either or. Well, it is either or. Getting late.
Hey, I haven't tried it, but if you're out of the car and your car is like lined up right to the swap, and you're maybe the third queue, for example, then you walk out. No one is inside the car.
No problem.
Then they call you, or they call you.
me.
Okay. I thought like just the app notification or something. So if they call, it's good. Like, hey, move your butt, man. It's
like it's like a robot that calls you and it says you are next in line or something.
Okay, that's good. Then that's even better. Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, great to have this podcast. We are grateful to have everyone listening and share some thoughts and ask some questions. And if you feel it's useful, do share to your friends or those who at least didn't know about NIO at all. I think what we try to do is like for those who doesn't know what is NIO, why people like what's the big fuss about it, right? We try to let everyone know that what the company is, and we are not paid by NIO or by anyone. Yeah, we just one of the owners, right? Mr. P himself, Eric, myself. We own the car, we drive the car, we use it, and then we think it's worth for all the users, all the viewers around to know about it. So hope it's useful. Thanks a lot for watching.
I don't own a car anymore, but it'd be nice to have
still,
one.
Man, you own two. Well, you got the EC6 and then you get another one in Europe too.
I'm still thinking go
subscribe.
Yeah, maybe subscribe to one in Europe again though. That might be nice. Maybe if I go in the springtime or the summer, get another one.
Okay. Oh, and for the guests, we are trying to have the guests weekly if we can, but if not, then we're gonna be having a similar like this session here discussion. If all the user from Europe or from anywhere on the podcast as well, do share your stories. We try to bring it up on the screen to let everyone knows as well. Yeah.
And we're trying to get some NIO staff in here as well. They did join us last time, right? On their Twitter, they did give us a little thumbs up or say something.
Yeah, right? I think that was legit, right? From Twitter.
Yeah, it was.
Because that account follow Manix and they had quite a lot of followers. So I think that should be the NIO Europe account.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
we all have contact. We all have contacts with NIO, and we're working on it. But we need to get our follower count a little bit higher. Got to get a few more people watching here before we really get some real pull with NIO. So
yeah. See, this is next level kind of stuff, man. Just the way it line you up, make that order for you. Like, okay, you're near the station because you're driving there, right? You're near the station. We like to like being lined up now. That fact alone is actually is beyond my mind. Before I was thinking, how should I like arrive there first and click some button to book it? Actually, everything pops up on the screen, and it's like, oh, okay, less thing to worry. Just order even, you know.
And
Yeah, it's
one
great.
thing that I want to add to that is they even made it next level like now as well. So like before you could see like how many people are lined up. But now if you're like far away from the swap station and you navigate to the swap station, it will tell you the estimate of how many people will be lined up when you get there, based on how many other people are also placing their orders and trying to get to that swap station. So then you can see that, oh, this swap station has 3 batteries, and then right now there's only one person there, but I'm navigating there. But by the time I get there, there will be 5 people lined up. So perhaps I won't have a battery available. So that tells you that maybe you should look at another swap station to go to. So this is pretty cool stuff that they're also that's also in the app, in the car as well. So yeah, it's amazing.
But how often do you guys even have to really wait for a battery swap? My experience is, you know, I when I had my car, it was far fewer NIOs on the road. But even October, I had the ET5 touring, and I waited, I think, one time out of like 6 or 7 swaps. So is it even bad now?
What about you, Ting?
For me, I only had to wait once, I think, and the rest is like. But the time when I go for the swap is like no one goes there, right? So I need to get it all done before I set up the kits or something like that. So I need to have it all done first. Otherwise, I will be late for some other stuff. So I need to like get up early, just like you get up early to fill up the gas, something like that. At that time, no one goes for the swap. So I only had to wait once when I pick up the kids from the school and then stop by at the swap station. Other than that, it's all like just drive straight, swap, and go.
Well, for me, I've had to wait multiple times because the swap station at the service center, it's very popular, and especially it depends on the time. So if you're going at like 2 p.m., there's not gonna be like anybody there, so you'll probably get the swap right away. But like after 5, it's a roll of a dice. You could have as many as 3 people, 4 people there, even 5 people lined up. But for me, like, you know, at that place, if it's 5 people lined up, then I would like go line up anyway. Like just line up and then go into the store, chat with the NIO manager, get a coffee or something like that.
Make a video.
And yeah. So it's pretty chill to like line up there. Also at like some of the most intense lineup I have ever had was a 3-hour lineup at one of the NIO houses at Beijing. It's the one at Zhongguancun. That was a Gen 1 swap station, and everybody that goes to the NIO house basically gets a swap there. So you have like 17, 18 people, 20 people lined up for battery swap, but people are just chilling at the NIO house. So it takes you like 3 hours, but you're at the NIO house, so it doesn't matter. And yeah, but that's Gen 1 swap station. So yeah, that shouldn't really happen anymore. But I've had some quite long waits, but it's more like busy hours during like very popular locations. Yeah.
To me, I mean, even wait for like a few of the person waiting in front of you is fine, right? Because each of them would take only maximum like up to 5 minutes. So if I wait for two queue on the line, it's still 10 minutes. 3 is 15. Yeah. So as long as it's less than like a half an hour charging normally, it can be like a 5 queue ahead of me, 5 people in front of me. I'm still okay. because it's
Yeah,
the same
exactly.
thing. Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's gonna be always faster than charging.
True. It's been done for a German user.
Yeah, they definitely need to get those fully automated as soon as possible and 24 hours a day and open. All the ones built actually open, even if they're not 24 hours a day, just open them. So many are just sitting there.
Yeah, 9 to 7 is kind of a bummer because yeah, I mean, like, that means if you're going early, leaving early for work, you're leaving at 7 or 8, then you can't swap. And if you finish late at work, you can't swap. That's kind of but I guess I understand, like, they want to have a technician there to like help people with the swap and stuff, but they should make it automated, right? And then maybe have a guy on standby and just be like around the area, and if there's any help needed, and then be able to go there.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
if
go ahead.
I was gonna say if they it's a labor issue, like cost of labor, or because whatever the case may be, they could do automated from like 6 to 9 and then have a staff there when they think it's going to be busier, right? 9 to 7, and then do automated again like 7 till 10 if they have to close it for a certain time. You would think something like that would be possible, where people going to work or after work could actually swap their battery. I really don't get it.
Yeah, they should just make it fully automated. Yeah.
For sure.
So that's like a Gen 1 station in China. Like the one in Germany, you say it's not fully automated. You still need to have
Germans
the guy clicking.
Gen 2.
Or Gen 2, okay.
Yeah.
But even Gen 2 can be automated because they had a lot of them in Shenzhen fully automated previously. They were Gen 2.
Yeah, the Gen 2 I go to swap all the time. It's like no one there except heavy snow. There would be a guy to like clean up the sensor, clean up the stuff. But apart from that, everything is done automatically. So okay. In Netherlands, it's
well, that's
still
much
not
better.
But it's still like wider compared to 9 till 7. This one at least up to 10. But in China, it's 24 hours. I think most places.
Yeah. 24 hours.
But there's not really vandalism issues in China, so that helps a lot.
Yeah, camera everywhere, and cameras in the place where all those people, they couldn't put the spray on, not to let people see who did what, right? Because it's way up there, man. You can't block the camera, so everything will be recorded mostly.
It's also cultural too. I mean, I don't think we want to get into it too much, but the culture is just different here. People aren't going out knocking things over or breaking things, or for the most part.
Yeah, true. Gen 3. Okay. Gen 4 start in China in April, right? April this year.
April.
But April this year, okay, it's like compatible with all the car they have anyway, but there's no, the ET9 itself is not available yet. Which means there wouldn't be any 120 kilowatt hour battery there. It's still 75 and 100.
Yeah.
And maybe 150, I don't know. You guys think 150 kilowatt hour would come out around when?
Eric, you go first.
When do I think it'll come out? I mean, who knows, man? They did the launch video with William Li, and since then, NIO Day, they didn't talk about it. I haven't seen on the app them talk about it. Have they mentioned it again since then?
Yeah, I mean, the test with ET7, if it was done with the ET5, maybe they have 1,100 kilometers. I don't know.
Oh, the ET7 is actually the most efficient.
Most efficient? Okay.
Yeah, so it was right to choose the ET7.
So which means if you try on ET5, it will be less? That doesn't sound
before
good.
the range would be, it would be a little bit less. The motors are different. Yeah,
It's okay.
slightly different. Yeah. So
Okay,
I
that's
think
interesting.
putting the timeline for the 150 battery, just to remind you guys all, it was announced at the end of 2020, right? Yeah, end of 2020 for delivery, end of 2022. Obviously, that did not happen. They pushed that to summer of 2023. That did not happen. Pushed it back to Q4 of 2023. Still did not happen. So it's any guess when it'll come out. I think it's pretty much ready. So probably this year they'll have it come out. But again, this battery pack is so expensive that it's not for sale. Nobody's gonna pay like the price of an ET5 just for like some extra kilowatt hours. That doesn't make sense. And it's gonna be pretty much strictly for rental. So you rent the battery if you need it, and it's gonna be very low volume. But I mean, it gets the job done. And I think if you want to buy the battery and pay an arm and a leg for it, I guess NIO will let you do it. Yeah, it's for advertising. Yes, it's for advertising. Yeah,
Which means it won't be as many 150 kilowatt hour around. They might be
yeah.
only like in Beijing, maybe 10. I don't know.
One for each swap station, probably.
Maybe. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. One for each swap station, probably. Max, max one. Yeah,
I mean,
And maybe
it
those
will.
user they will use for charging. They will not use for swapping, because they may like reach the place without any swaps. So they'll just keep 150 with them. If they couldn't find the 150 to swap, they just keep it and charge it instead. Because you reach
yeah,
600 kilometers, charge it, finish your trip, whatever, come back 600 kilometers, it's still okay, and you keep it. If you swap it out, maybe you won't get it back.
yeah.
I
There's no
mean,
150 around.
yeah.
Eric, you were saying?
I was just saying, like, as an advertisement only, though, it actually was really a good advertisement because it got a lot of attention on social media out here. So it right before NIO Day too. It was a really, really big thing.
Yeah, and NIO was able to achieve an actual range of 1,000 plus kilometers. With the other guys, it's like only a theoretical NEDC range of 1,000 kilometers. Actual range is probably like 600. And for those other guys, it's probably like rear wheel drive, like single motor, and with like a big battery and like really bad performance. Whereas the ET7, it's like pretty fast performance and dual motors. So if the ET7 was a single motor ET7, I mean, they probably get even further than that. So it just speaks to volume that a performance car can also get that much range. It's pretty nice.
For sure.
Some comparison, some contrast between filling up your tank and swapping. So that is in total would take you around 50 minutes, right? Which means we wait 2 person in front of us for swapping about the same time. And if you don't need to wait, then we take only like 5 minutes or less.
And
It's
if you're
as
in line
fast
for
as
gas,
filling up the tank, boys. Yeah.
if you're in line for gas too, you're actually in the car sitting there waiting in line too, which is
Exactly.
you know.
Exactly. Braking right. Yeah. Yep. But if I have 150, I might not need to swap, huh? It's enough range to like to get it in one sitting, one driving maybe. And if it's
Yeah,
fast
like
enough, you can just top up each time you stop. Still around, you manage the range as you go.
yeah.
But it
How
would be
many times
really,
are you gonna drive 1,000 kilometers, right? Yeah, in one sitting, not possible.
I was thinking it'd be really cool though if they had like a content creator, someone bigger than me, maybe Mr. P could do it, or drive like I don't know, Beijing to Xinjiang, or something really, really far, just swapping like 3 times to go all the way across China. That would be incredible. Like that would be hype video for sure. Get Wheels Boy
I
on
think that we don't need crossing China to do it.
I gotta go back.
You have to go back on the road,
I
man.
mean, I can pitch it. I can pitch it to him, but I think people have seen enough of me driving around China.
But it's
Gotta
tough
get
to have
somebody
a 150 kilowatt hour battery lineup ready for you, just for you, so you can make it.
If they put like one in if we plan the route, like because NIO actually they work really, really good like with the content creators, right? Like when you do want to have an idea, they'll work with you on that. So I'm sure if somebody pitched it and they could help you plan the route, put the batteries in the right places, and then you could actually make that route. That would be pretty cool. Like from here, I was looking at it from here to I think Xinjiang is like 4,200 kilometers or something. So that would take what 4.5 swaps, I guess, maybe 4 swaps. I guess if I start with a full tank, that's not a swap. 1,000 kilometers.
You're getting higher up, so you may take more power, more energy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, just looking at it on the map, but that's still crazy. Like to be able to do that.
It's still crazy. It's 6 times swap, and then you can make 4,000. Yeah, that's crazy. I think some correction. I mean, I do not think 150 kilowatt hour is that heavy. It's just slightly heavier than 100 kilowatt hour.
Like 20 kilograms.
Yeah, like
not really, that heavy.
Not that heavy. That's how they can make it.
Yeah.
I'll try to pitch that idea to NIO.
Do it, man. We fully support it. And you can do a live stream while you're on the road if it happens to be on Thursday night. So we can keep this podcast running.
Podcast. It'll be Thursday night and then Friday and then Saturday, just on the road nonstop.
I give you some tips for the podcast, like live streaming while you're driving, so you can see both front and inside the car. That's cool.
Man, I'll be so tired driving that far, but it'd be cool. Xinjiang is beautiful. And Ting, aren't we going to drive to Thailand? Aren't we working on a trip to Thailand? We're driving, right?
I did try to check out some details. To go to Thailand, you need to have the CCS to GB adapter. No swap there, so we need to charge along the way. So when we are outside of China, in Laos still okay because they're using GB, so it's the same like in China. But when we cross from Laos to Thailand, you need to switch to CCS or Type 2, right? Which means we need to have that adapter, and that adapter can only support up to 200 amps, meaning you can charge up to 80 or 90 kilowatts. It will be like not as fast of the trip, I mean. But
it's all right. It'd be fun.
Manageable.
And that's something we're working on, right? Kind of in the future, in the background.
We try to do some feasibility study first, if it's possible, because we don't have the luxury of battery swap outside of China. So we're gonna have to be careful, man. You don't want to you get a car outside of China and then you cannot come back. It's gonna be funny.
You can send the charging van with us
to Thailand.
No, the thing is, the van is like it's not electric, right? If you want to go like full electric, just for then it should not be with the van. So we should go with the charger, unless they set up the battery swap station
just for us. Well, there's one now. There's one now in Sichuan, so we can do it from there. We can get from Sichuan, swap, and then drive to Thailand, no problem. You got range for that.
Yeah, CCS Type 2, correct. We need that adapter, then we can make it. It's not impossible. Many EV from China has done the route before there. So I know Li Auto, they actually went all the way to Thailand, right? To Bangkok, to everywhere. But they can fill the gas. So they didn't use electric mode at all, actually.
I saw a video of them in Thailand with the Li Auto and showing all the people there. They were all, oh my God, this is Chinese. So NIO could do the same thing. Yeah. We can do it, man.
Yep. We'll try. Let me clear my time also. But we might be able to get only one car, Eric. I don't think they can give like a caravan and then we have to all charging. I don't think it will work. We'll see. Maybe you can get one, and then I can manage to get one. I don't know.
For
I
sure.
drive
I'll ask
my
him.
car. Yeah.
When we
So
get
stay tuned, guys.
Neo staff on, when we get Neo staff on the podcast in the next week or 2 or 3 or
We will ask them.
sometime soon, we can ask them while we're live so they can commit to it in real life. In front
And
of
if they say no live, then that's it.
yeah, and it's over. It's
Stop
over.
dreaming about it.
But
I
we can
hope
put the
they'll
pressure
be
on them.
nice. Note it down, Eric. Next guest would be someone from NIO, so we can
I'm
kind
working
of
on
like
it. I'm working on it. I mean,
Yeah.
we talked to them before. We talked to her at NIO Day, right? Ting, and she said for sure we can probably get a NIO to get to Thailand in the future.
Yeah.
So,
It would be good actually. It would be good. And I tell you, in Thailand or in ASEAN in specific, the market is growing, and Thailand being like the fast growing one,
Yeah.
why not? Huh?
Yeah,
The awareness
good
of
fun.
even in Thailand is such a up right up there. So even use ACs, you need adapter because it's the reverse of Type 2, and you need to wait 11 hours each charging, so it will be too long. And you can drive only 2 or 300 kilometers or something, unless we get 150 kilowatt hour battery. Eric, maybe take that note too. We get the 150 kilowatt hour battery on the new ET7, the modified one that William was driving. That'd be perfect. That'd be perfect for the trip.
And a bunch of NIO Life snacks to fuel us on the way. Some waffles and stuff.
Oh yeah, and we can do a real-time review of all the NIO Life snacks and products.
Yeah. That
Hopefully
sounds good.
if we have 2 cars, right? Have a camp mode, 2 family. Oh, that'd be nice.
I agree. Do we have anything else to talk about? Any more questions or anything tonight?
I think we are pretty much covered most. If I miss any of the question or not, let me scroll it up. Meanwhile, if anyone was still like kind of curious on the service or delivery or experience that we had, we can open up for a few more questions before we close the night. Otherwise, it keep on. It's gonna
Goes
be
forever.
too late. Huh? It goes forever.
It's
I don't
always
think I missed any.
digging into
There are some
digging into
requests for the
my bedtime.
guests to be like few of the guest suggestion there. So maybe take a look at it, Eric.
Yeah, I saw Marcel on there. Marcel's a good guy. I saw Jason. I'm not sure. Is that NIO trending or no? I'm not sure who Jason is.
And the odd investor. I think
The
I
odd
saw his
investor.
video before. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we're trying. This isn't really like a stock investment podcast necessarily. I know, of course, most people are here because they're probably NIO investors and not NIO users. But I know, we're more interested, I think, as a team here for our podcast to talk less about the stock and more about the company. At least that's my perspective. I can't speak for the other 2 fellas.
Yeah, we should keep it more about the company,
user experience and all. So
yeah. We can probably invite some of the other foreign owners, NIO owners here in China.
I know Frankie will come on. Will will come on.
Yeah. Will from China Driven. And Frankie Watanabe. What is his name on?
Watatoy?
Frankie Goes Fun. He's actually have quite a lot of interesting video on his WeChat channel. Like
his YouTube as well.
He got early bird. Yeah, he got early bird update on Banyan 2.3.0. I didn't even have on mine yet. So
because he's part of the beta program or whatever. What is it called in China?
The beta program. They got a beta program.
So it's like the software
User Navigator.
Oh, User Navigator. That's right. It's like the user advisory board kind of in Europe. We have a question, Mr. P, for you, I think.
Which one is it?
Any idea if any of NIO's battery swapping partners, when they will have their first battery swapping compatible EV?
I think pretty soon. They're working on it because the CEO said that this is exactly what the CEO said. He said that so far the partners have not had any problems with the battery pack that they've given them. So they're just giving the Alps battery pack to them, which we don't even know what it looks like. And those other companies, they're just building the car around that battery pack and around the and basically having a swap mechanism up to NIO's standard in the car. And he said that so far there haven't been any problems. The feedback has been great. So that seems like things are progressing pretty fast. So as to when, what time, I think earliest would be probably like end of 2024, 2025 probably. Yeah. Because the sub brand's going to come out and then be able to swap, and then those other cars, those other partner cars will probably need to be able to swap along with the sub brand, So probably 2025 is when we'll see those cars come out, compatible cars.
If you had to make a prediction, Mr. P, which brand do you think will come out with a compatible, swappable battery first?
First? Oh, yeah. My guess is probably like Geely, probably, because those guys are just super fast at like coming out with cars.
That's true. Always something new with them.
And they did try with the battery swap on of their own too, right? Geely have their own swapping brand as well. I forgot the name. The one that the battery drop on the road.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't Geely?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I forgot the name. Do. Yeah, but they did have some. So I think if we use a standard from NIO, which is like well known, that 35 million swap, like that number is it's something, right? It's not like it's not just a fluke. I mean, there's a tech behind it. There's a safety behind it. So
exactly,
maybe they can speed faster.
Yeah.
Or JC. Your buddy says JC, huh?
JC. Possibly. I think they're all going to come out with cars around the same time, 2025.
Which means the same time as 89 coming out. The true separation between like a super ET9 and the sub brand for the mass.
Yeah.
ET9 for the deluxe. Okay. That's interesting, I think. We don't touch the stock price, huh, Miss P? Or you want to say something?
Somebody asked about it.
Yeah, I think we try not to speculate on the price or anything. We just try to let everyone know what's experience using a car, the tech, and everything that we experience ourselves, right? So I hope that's useful for some thoughts of the investor who still have some doubts.
Yeah, for sure. I think if you're investing, you want to invest in a good company and understand the company from on a deeper level. So.
Oh, okay. This I didn't know. I don't know also. NIO Capital and Power and NIO Capital, as in the venture capital, like.
No, NIO Capital is the company that is responsible for investing in a lot of other stuff. So it's like NIO's own investment fund, I guess. It's NIO Capital. That's what the relationship would be. And then like NIO Power is part of NIO. It's just and NIO's energy division. It's called NIO Power. Yeah.
My observation's still the same. Yeah. The charger, I think the charger would make money. Like it would continue to generate the revenue. Because a lot of the EVs are actually using NIO chargers.
Yeah, exactly.
Cheaper than Tesla Supercharge, man.
And NIO chargers are always in good locations too.
Yeah. And the location is like when you charge, you will always face to the swap station. So each time when you go charge at the NIO Power, you say, yeah, these NIO folks, they just spend like 4 minutes and 5 minutes and then they're out. and I'm still need another 15.
You got another question about the Middle
Whoa.
East.
UAE first. Expect Saudi too, right?
To Saudi. I'm not sure about Saudi, but I know UAE is 100% for June. That's what the CEO said. So, yeah, I'm not too sure about Saudi, but shipping cars there will be very easy. I mean, it's not going to be, the challenge isn't shipping the cars there. The challenge would probably be like infrastructure and like getting the team up and running and having the same level of service and stuff, and battery swaps like working and all that stuff. Yeah, that will be the challenge. Yeah.
And actually, if it can operate in UAE, then it would be easier to expand throughout the Gulf and Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, right? So possible.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know this news?
Did you guys hear Hertz is selling off Tesla Model 3 for as low as $14,000? Would you buy a used rental EV? Piece of caca, if you ask me. I mean, I would buy one if I got a good thorough look at it and test drove it and it seemed all right. For 14K, you can't really complain.
14K is good bargain here, man. If you go and take a look at the mileage, the conditions and everything, bring the OBD adapter, connect it in, check the battery and BMS and everything, and it's all good. I would pay for a Model 3. Why not? If degradation is not as it's not as high, right? We're not talking battery swap or anything here. So what comes with the car stay with the car. So you need to check before you buy that it's good enough.
Yeah, exactly. Or else the battery itself is going to cost you 15K. So there you go.
Yeah. Depends on the warranty, right? Too. So
yeah,
they took the big bet right at that time when they bought a bunch of the Model 3. I think 2020, and now it's like it seems to be
backfiring.
Seems to be a little bit of the trouble. Oh, hope they come out okay lah. Okay, guys, I think we're passing 2 hours. We know that we try to, if we do not have any guests, we try to keep it 45 minutes. But I don't think 45 minutes is enough to answer all of the questions for our viewers, right? So it's okay to keep a good discussion go around. So I think it's good time maybe. Oh, when we say this, then more question would come. Yeah. So maybe I just
one more question. One more
question. Okay, I have 2. So you pick one.
Is there 2? I only see 1. You pick it. I only see 1.
Wait. You don't see comment? You should see comment. Okay.
I see comment. No, I only see 1 question, and that's I guess the other one is nervous about the phone.
Oh wait. Okay. Maybe this one would be the easier one before the next one. I'm very nervous about the phone and the lack of news about it. Okay.
I'm not
as
worried,
a user
I'm
of
not worried
the phone,
about the phone.
I'm not. For me, I'm one of the user. Eric is one. Mr. P, if he get the NT 2.0 car later, hopefully he will get one too, right? So recently the update has the Google mobile service, which expand the usability of the phone and the possibility of expand to any other market if it passed the regulatory approval at that market. So I do think that at this market that NIO is selling, they should be able to get the phone there too. And in China, I don't think the phone is the bust. I mean, it sells well. So for me, I'm not too worried.
I mean, it only sells well to NIO users, but to them it sells well.
Unfortunately, but I was thinking about them licensing the capability of the ultra wideband because it's like a generic standard, right? So if other cars that support ultra wideband can use the same capability from NIO phone, so it can actually be linked to any other cars too. But it may be not under their scope, right? But the hardware itself is capable. It's just like it's locked by the software that you can only use with NIO. but most of the car right now it's the auto wideband, the capability key fob, right? So it should be able to adopt the same standard. All right, so I think this will be the last one, and we thank you for listening and watching. Yes, definitely. From US, I think BYD is possible. Lee maybe not.
All right, so I'll answer this question. BYD, very possible, because actually a couple weeks ago, before this Chery partnership announcement, NIO CEO was constantly praising BYD and Chery, and they're like good buddies apparently. And so it's very possible that well, you see, Chery got announced today. Very possible that BYD might be announced soon as well. Li Auto, I don't see a possibility, even though Li Auto CEO is a founding shareholder in NIO. It's just the rivalry is a bit too intense. Like, the relationship has gone sour, and quite recently, Li Auto CEO said that by 2035, only 4 EV companies will survive. 4 new energy vehicle companies will survive, and he did not name NIO, which means that in Li Auto CEO's opinion, NIO will not make it. So obviously, NIO CEO was not very happy with that. So I mean, it's there's a little bit of rivalry between them. Yeah. So
who did he say, Mr. P? He said BYD and Geely and Lee and anybody else?
He said BYD, Huawei, Tesla, Li Auto, and yeah, those guys. Wow.
Huawei.
Right?
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You know, because Huawei Aito M7 beats the record. They became #1 EREV sold in November, I think. So that triggered a little bit of Li Auto a little bit, right? They always #1. Li Auto is always #1 on the EREV. And their L7 was like #1 all the time, right, since its launch.
Yeah.
So
have you guys driven those cars? Huawei, Aito? No.
No.
I only sit inside a little bit. I asked them to lend me one, but they didn't. I didn't try.
Yeah.
But I tried the Huawei system on Avatar. So Avatar use the Huawei system is good.
Before we go real quick, my friend has a Huawei Aito M5, like the little sedan kind of like hatchback looking one, and I drove it. I drove it off to another city, and it was very, very uninspiring, but also like very functional. Like, it's understandable why it sells so well. Like, it's affordable. It was like, I think it cost her $200K, right? But it was so like nothing special about it. Like, the OS was fine, everything was fine, but nothing inspiring whatsoever about that car. But that's good enough, I think, too, with the right price point. But man, I was like, this car's so boring to drive.
The M7s sell quite well, so it actually beat the Li Auto L7. Yeah. L7 was like ranked 111 like few months in a row, right? And then this one just beats it. So if you check with anyone from Li Auto, they will say, yeah, Huawei is a tough competitor. I think we need to keep an eye on and all. So yeah. And they also look at the M9 also, right? The recent launch one. So let's see the sale figure next month, how it is.
Yeah.
But there could be partnership for the power charger version 4 from NIO, because the power charger version 4 is actually can charge Li Auto's Mega at its full capability, like at its full power, which means that the Li Auto Mega user can stop at any power charger 4 to charge as fast as their own Li 5C charger. So that could be a partnership between the two, I mean, for charging, but not the swap for sure.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'll be sleeping too.
I know.
Sorry.
I'm telling you. Past my bedtime every time. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody, for sharing or joining. You guys, anything you want to say? No.
I got nothing.
All right.
Yeah.
Peace out.
I thank everyone to watch,
Stay safe, stay healthy.
and then and we send everyone for a good night's sleep, and then we see you next Thursday. Hopefully, we get the
we'll have a guest. We'll have a guest next week. Yep.
Yeah,
for sure. See you guys.
And we see you all next week. All right. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Thank you.